So we recorded a podcast. So it was supposed to be a 666. So it should have been done in 6 minutes and 66 seconds.
Plus 2 or 3. So 9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes. Less than 10, probably. I think it might be 40 minutes long. So we're just going to go into it, but it's not going to be a 666.
Yeah, no, this is probably an Encore episode for sure.
Yep. So enjoy.
Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with my other host,
Karen.
And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Rockfest. But in particular, we're going to talk about the Falling in Reverse sort of, I don't know if you want to call it an incident or
Drama.
Yeah, there we go. The drama of Falling in Reverse at Rockfest.
Yeah, our experience with it.
Yeah, our experience. We were there for the weekend. We saw this performance. We were there for this performance. And yeah, we just wanted to kind of weigh in and talk about it for a few minutes. It's probably going to go longer than 6 minutes and 66 seconds, like normal. But whatever. We're going to try and see what happens.
Yeah.
But even before we start, I kind of want to set the stage and kind of a little bit of background with this as well.
Sure.
In terms of our background with this.
Yeah.
We have never seen Falling in Reverse live.
No.
This was our first time seeing them.
Yes.
And because it's kind of a thing we do when we see a new band or hear a new to us band, typically on a tour or, just on tour or whatnot. If we don't know the bands who are going to be on the tour, we don't seek them out before the tour.
Right.
If we find the music when we just find it out and about, that's cool. We'll listen to it on Spotify or streaming or whatnot, right?
Yep.
But typically it's, if we don't know a band, we want the live experience to be the first sort of exposure we have to the band because we like the live performance more than the recorded performance. The recorded is awesome. We listen to it all the time. We listen to music all the time. But the live is what we really love.
Yeah. And Falling in Reverse is that for me at least. I've heard a few of their songs on, Spotify or on playlists or whatever, but I've never really been one to seek out their music and be I want to listen to all their catalog or anything like that. More recently, I think they did Last Resort by Papa Roach.
Yeah, a cover of that.
Yeah. So, and I really enjoyed that. So I listened to that a few times, but other than that, I really haven't dug into their catalog too much.
So that happened to me once too. I was just walking around and had it on shuffle, had Spotify on shuffle, and the song came up and it was kind of rappy but metally at the same time. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is kind of interesting and cool. What the fuck's going on here? And I looked down, it's Falling in Reverse. Oh shit, okay. I think we're gonna see them soon. That's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, that was before Hogfest.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be there for that as well. They backed out of that performance and a few others around that time because I think there was a medical thing or a vocal thing that Ronnie was having and he couldn't make he couldn't bring his best performance, so he's I'm gonna have to bow out type thing.
Yeah.
Which is great. When bands do that, I fully understand that, and you got to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it long term.
Yeah. I think the only complaint about that was Hogfest never announced anything, and I only found it because you got an email. I think that had a new lineup.
No, so we got an email for VIP upgrades for the Hogfest show.
Okay.
And they were no longer listed on the lineup. And we went back and looked at old ones and they were originally listed.
Yeah.
But it was very quiet. You're right. Yeah. I don't know, it's that particular show is for the radio station in Milwaukee. So I don't know if on the radio they talked about it, that could be their promotion. That could be how they got the word out.
Yeah, and we're not in Milwaukee, so we don't listen to the radio station.
Exactly. So it's even here in Chicago, we don't listen to the radio. No. So it's maybe on their Instagram, but I don't remember if we looked on their Instagram or anything.
I never saw anything on Instagram. I mean, it could have been a story that went away. But I did find on Falling in Reverse that they announced 3 shows around that time that they weren't going to make it to.
So that was going to be our first exposure to them, first time seeing them live. Didn't make it there, but it's all right, they're going to be at Rockfest. We'll check it out there. Kind of excited. So we went in. You wanted to really check out this set.
I did,
you had been listening to their music a little bit.
And and I was, because whenever we do festivals, there's always a moment of what bands are we for sure going to see, what bands are we going to maybe check out, and what bands are we just going to step in for a few minutes and then step out sort of thing. And Falling Reverse was on the first end of that for me, where I was I want to check out their set.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're at the stage, or you'll find out as close to the stage as we could, and listen to their set completely, and not really do the whole just stop in for one song or two songs and then move on.
Yeah. So we've been chatting here for a little bit. Let's start the timer and see how far we get with this particular performance. Okay. And okay, so when the set started, did you notice anything off with the performance or the set that you could tell?
I don't have anything in particular. I know you do, so you go ahead and talk about what you had in particular.
Okay.
I think that it was late getting started, but I wasn't really watching the time.
Yeah, I guess I don't remember it starting late that much either,
yeah,
honestly.
I mean, I just know that from social media posts now.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't really watching the time, like, on the dot of, like, oh, you're supposed to start. I'm just going to throw out a time. Like, say it was supposed to be 7:10.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they started at 7:15 or 7:20.
But, I mean, start times are always wrong.
They are.
Almost always they're fucking wrong. And, like, at festivals, like, that can be a complaint, I guess, but, like, it always starts long and things get backed up. This festival ran pretty smoothly in terms of start times and times.
Yeah. What was your thing, though?
So, I guess a couple things, I guess, set the stage before I get into that even. This festival, the main stage has a very, very small pit.
Yes.
Maybe 200 people at most, you think?
Maybe. Yeah, we're going to do a full Rockfest episode, but we did want to kind of lay the foundation here. So.
Yeah, so there's that.
And you had to pay to be in the pit.
You have to pay to be in the pit. Yeah.
Or upgrade a ticket or whatever.
Then there's a VIP seating area, like a bench, like an amphitheater type seating.
Yes, yep.
And then behind that is the lawn.
Yep.
And, well, there's like a reserved lawn with like a wooden fence. And then there's the main lawn where if you have GA, that's where you can go, is that main lawn. And that's what we had, GA tickets. Also, this is a festival where you can bring lawn chairs in.
Yes.
We fucking hate lawn chairs at festivals.
Yes.
It deters from the music. You can't see it. People show up first thing in the morning, they plant their chair, and they're like, this is my spot, and they go off and they do their own thing. And it's like, fuck off with these goddamn chairs already.
And you can't even, the lawn chairs started right behind reserved lawn.
Right.
And reserved lawn was lawn chairs.
Yeah. They had their own lawn chairs provided by the event.
Red lawn chairs, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maroon lawn chairs. But anyways, and then directly behind that is where the lawn chairs started. And I remember on Wednesday, because we checked out the preview night. This is going to go way long. But when we checked out the preview night, I remember seeing orange lines on the ground in like straight lines. And I was like, oh, I bet that's where the lawn chairs are going to go.
Put your lawn chair in this row. And like we were trying to think also, like a lawn chair is probably one lawn chair is equal to like 2.5 people in terms of how much space it takes.
Yeah. Like if you're in like a
general GA.
Like a GA, like a field access or like a, I'm going to say pit access, but not pit as in Rockfest, but like a normal pit access.
But I mean, like, you said this. We'll talk about this with the actual episode.
Yeah.
But we did Upheaval last year, which also had lawn chairs, and we hated that.
Yeah.
Like, it zaps the energy for me.
It does.
Like, I want to be in a crowd, bumping shoulders with people, having people bump into me. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Crowd surfing, moshing. Like, you can't do that when you have a bunch of fucking lawn chairs.
And you brought it up, crowd surfing and moshing. Absolutely not allowed at this festival.
We were at one set, and there was a mosh pit or circle pit going, and like the security came in, stopped, and just stood there and stared at the band.
Yep. And I heard on social media that happened during like Ice Nine Kills
and
Suicide Silence. Like Suicide Silence tried to do a wall of death, and they shut it down.
Oh, for real?
Like they couldn't even do it.
Oh, they want to do 3 walls. I remember that.
Yep.
So I mean,
because of how the pits like separated out.
So,
anyways,
by design, this whole festival was not what I wanted. It's at least the main stage. Yeah. The other stages, again, you can't crowd surf or mosh. They stopped at there too. But at least you weren't in a lawn chair field. You're bumping shoulders with people. You're actually in an actual crowd, enjoying the music together as one like group instead of me at my chair enjoying the music by myself. So we hate that. We came in, we already had sort of a sour mood for all these fucking lawn chairs all over the place. And then they start, and it had been raining for the last couple days, so I think that also affected people's energy. Like before this, we were at Wage War, started raining, went to our car, hung out there for an hour or so. Yeah,
we changed and came back.
And then we came back for this set, or was there something before it?
Ice Nine Kills was before this.
Ice Nine Kills and something up at the who's on
and
top
then Ginger.
stage. Ginger, right.
Was
and,
that?
Yep.
Sorry.
I think it was. And then we came down for this.
And then we came down for this,
And it starts, and it's a normal sort of, again, I didn't notice the set times being off, but in between songs, there was a little bit of a lull in between songs. And some bands do that. Some bands just...
I mean, even during Wage War, there was a lull between every single song. So
Right. So, I mean, I didn't think anything of it. Then Ronnie came out and had some crowd banter. I can't remember exactly what he's saying. One that made me laugh was something like, I thought we were at a rock festival, or something along the lines of like, I thought we were at a rock festival. Where's the fucking noise and energy at? I know it's been raining. Come on, wake the fuck up, or something along those lines, right? I'm paraphrasing. I don't think those are the exact words. I'm paraphrasing.
No,
right?
but I remember something about that, like basically like you're at a concert, like wake the fuck up.
Right, something along those lines, right? Yeah. And then the very next song plays that, comes back out. What'd you think of that, or something along those lines, right? And then the crowd cheers. Like, no, you guys, you had your chance. And to me, I thought that was just playful banter.
I did too, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like, then he's going to play another song, come back out. What about that? And then the crowd would cheer even louder. Like, holy shit, there you fucking are. Let's go. Like, I thought that's how, like, people do that kind of banter all the time. Like, I can't fucking hear you. Let's go.
Right.
All right, well, let's see how loud you get on this next one.
Yeah.
Oh, you did good. Let's do better.
Or you say like, oh, you know, Chicago is much louder than you or whatever. You know, it's just
Trivium
like that.
does that every time. They're like, the best show we've been to on this tour, Fargo, Indiana, or Fargo, wherever the fuck Fargo,
Indiana, Fargo, North Dakota.
North Dakota, right. But like some random ass small podunk town type thing, right? And it's like, they're better than you metropolitan fucks. Let's go. Let's wake up.
Yeah.
So like this typical banter, like that's what I expected anyway. So I kind of laughed when like, oh no, you guys, you had your chance. So I that's what I was expecting. That's how I expected the progression of this conversation to go.
Yeah.
And then came out and said something about like, well, we'll see if I come back. We'll see how much merch you bought.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting comment because I do remember going down and getting merch for Slipknot. And the line for Falling in Reverse was so fucking long.
Yeah, we were actually in that line, and then they're like, oh, this is Falling in Reverse. Like, you need to be in the shorter line for Slipknot.
And it was lined for hours, too.
Yeah.
Like,
so the whole day,
They sold a lot of fucking shit, which was awesome. That's great. Go out, support your bands.
And I saw a lot of shirts.
Yeah, same thing with Hogfest, right? When they dropped out of that.
Yeah. We're at 666.
All right,
so
well,
we're going to keep talking. Yeah, this is going to be a 20-minute episode or more.
When they were at Hogfest, we saw a bunch of shirts that night. So it's like, clearly we weren't the only ones who found out late. People found out probably that day. Like, holy shit, they're not going to be here.
Yeah.
So fans are there to support them for sure. And same thing, like the whole, see how much merch you bought and all that kind of shit. And then it just sort of ended.
Yeah. And we don't know how their shows, I mean, we already said, like, we've never been to one of their shows. We don't know how one of their shows normally goes. Maybe he brings up merch every single show. I don't know. So we really didn't know at this point. But before it ended, it did start downpouring.
Did it downpour or was it just like sprinkling?
No, it started downpouring because even you and I were like, well, we don't have more clothes to change into, so let's go stand in one of the smaller stages and listen.
Okay, I do remember walking up toward toward one of the, I think the Loud and Local stage.
Yeah, and that's because it started pouring.
All right, I just thought it was like a sprinkle at that point. I didn't know it was like a pour. Like we expected it to pour, but okay.
No, I think it started pouring.
But again, like there were the lulls in between songs. So you get done with the song, and then there's a lull, and then the lull continues and continues. And we're like, is it over? And then you would notice the big Jumbotron TV screens, right, of being like, then they would go into the advertisement loop that it was always on.
That's what happened, yeah. After we got to the Loud and Local stage, it started going
and that's when I realized, oh, no, it's over.
Yeah.
And it was fucking short. A short set, maybe 30 minutes or so. They played 7 tracks, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's shortish set.
Yeah, so when this happened, why I brought up the rain is because the previous night for Pantera, it hadn't started raining yet, but they had announced, hey, a storm's coming. There's lightning in the area. We have to postpone, but Pantera's going to play. So when it started raining, I thought, oh, maybe there's a storm coming, and so that's why they stopped playing.
Yeah, same thing. Like they had to call it short from an organization perspective because of danger with lightning and thunder and all that shit, right? And it's not one of those things like once the band's off, we can wait 30 minutes and they're coming back to do it again. It's like, no, they're playing somewhere else tomorrow. They got to get on their bus to head out. They got to get their gear loaded up. There's like a tight schedule that not only for this show, but for the very next day's show.
Well, and to get Slipknot set up and all that
exactly.
stuff.
So you have to get the next one set up, all of that. So it is conceivable in our minds at the time that it got cut short. Not that they got cut short, but I mean at the same time I did around the whole merch comment. That's when I started realizing, he might be a little pissed.
Oh, so you thought that? I never had that thought.
Not until that moment. Not until the whole merch comment of like, well, we'll see how much you bought before I come back.
See, and I guess going back to the banter thing, I thought that was just like playful banter. But I mean, it's just how I was perceiving it. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. I'm just saying like that's how I perceived it.
No, I can get that too, because a lot of bands will say, we're going to be at merch, go check our merch out.
Yep.
But not bands at that level. Like you don't see Slipknot saying, make sure you buy my merch, right?
Yeah.
You find it with the smaller shows, bands who like merch is the lifeblood. Not saying it's not the lifeblood for Falling in Reverse or other bands that are, Slipknot caliber or higher caliber. That's the wrong word to say too, higher caliber, but like more established bands who are headlining tours and doing stuff.
I think everybody will know what you mean.
But so like I don't hear that so often from that, at top of the bill type stuff. So that's where it's like, that's kind of weird. I don't think I've ever heard that, but whatever. But it did feel a little of at that point that he was a little grumpy or a little upset, at least in my mind.
Yeah. Again, I don't know the band.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the band, so I didn't really think anything of it.
But you were enjoying the music. I was enjoying the music. Couldn't see the set at all.
No, but and that's not their fault. That's the venue fault.
No, and I was pissed at the venue at that point, right? It's around this time I was like, I fucking hate this main stage. Not because of the music, but because of how I had to enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Or try to enjoy the music. I really did not enjoy the music at the main stage ever. So,
and not because of the bands.
Exactly. Not because of the bands. Because of the venue setup. But anyway, we finish our night, we go see Slipknot, most of Slipknot, leave.
Well, we went to the Loud and Local stage, and then we went back and listened to a few. Well, most of Slipknot. We found out most of Slipknot songs. We thought we were leaving an hour early, but it was 3 more songs. Yeah.
But then it wasn't until the next day you started looking up to try to find more information, right?
Well, that night I started looking to see. So I started looking to see what the announcement was. Like, like something happened, and they, I actually started looking on Rockfest like Instagram and stuff like that to see what Rockfest was announcing, because I still thought it was weather related or something happened.
Okay.
So I was like, I didn't think it was the band decided not to play anymore. I thought it was weather. I honestly thought it was weather.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I started looking at.
And the next day you found posts from their Instagram, I believe, right?
From Falling in Reverse.
Falling in Reverse Instagram.
Yeah.
The first one being something along the lines of like, hey, Upheaval, we're coming tomorrow night. What's it actually say?
So it says Upheaval tonight, because this is posted the next day.
Yeah.
If you're at festival, which I'm sure they meant, if you're at the festival and reading my message, please don't be as boring as Cadet, Wisconsin was yesterday.
Yeah, and I remember you showing me that, and I was like, he's kind of not wrong.
Right.
Like, but it's not necessarily the crowd's fault. Like, it's by design of the festival.
Yeah.
And we were in the pit for Wage War earlier that night.
That was such a disappointment.
And the crowd there was kind of lame.
Yeah.
It was weak. There was nothing going on. And we were talking about this, and I was like, we saw Wage War at Concord.
Mm-hmm.
If you took, let's say that floor held 200 people. If you took half of the number, 100 people from the Concord show, just randomly picked 100 people and threw them in that pit, in that pit at...
Just throw them in there?
Yeah, just threw them in. Like, this is all you have, 100 people from that Concord show. That fucking place would have been insane, even with just half the size. Yeah. And it was kind of disappointing. Like, the pit was awesome. You're so close. You're so cool, but it's so weak.
Yeah, I was so ready for the pit, and I was like, I even told you, like, after Wage War gets done, I'm gonna have to like go sit in the car or something to cool off. But it's not like that. You just stand there.
Yeah, and
I'm sure during Falling in Reverse it was the same way, because security's right there, so you can't do anything. Meaning you can't. Well, crowd surfing would be pointless because it's about the length of two bodies.
You go like two people.
Yeah. But you can't mosh. I mean, this is what I've found out on social media. You can't mosh. You can't do walls of death. You can't even probably get on somebody's shoulders. You can't crowd surf. You can't do anything.
Yeah. And then the very next one you showed me, then I think it was the very next story on that same account on the. It's actually Ronnie's.
Oh, is that Ronnie's? Okay.
Personal account, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
I thought it was on Falling in Reverse.
Yeah, my YouTube apology video incoming to the bands that have to play some of these festivals that serve
Raw chicken
as catering and making share porta potties with the crowd after bringing the promoter $1.3 million. I'm assuming that's probably merch cuts, or he's assuming like
some ticket sales, merch cuts.
There's got to be some way that number.
Yeah, somehow I'm sure that number came about, and it could just be, because I mean, technically you have to pay for everything. You have to pay for a camping spot. You have to pay for parking. You have to pay for everything. So I mean, and I think he knows, or the band knows. Sorry, I'm saying he, but I think the band knows that they had a lot of fans there. It's just how the venue is set up. Those fans were back by the Who's on Top stage,
unless
which
you
is
paid
like
for the VIP, and then you're not doing anything because you have your assigned spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the raw chicken thing, like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens. So like, fix it. Give me a new goddamn chicken. Like, and then if they don't give you a new chicken, then maybe you'd be pissed at that too.
Yeah.
The porta potty things, we have no idea anything about that. But I mean, from this comment here, it seems like he's pissed not at the fans, but at the organizers and the venue itself. And when I saw this, I was like, yes, please be pissed. Like, this is not amphitheater style venues suck. I hate them. I hate the lawn chairs. It zaps the energy out, in my opinion.
No,
it zaps it out. Like, it's not a fun way to view a concert. I'm watching a TV. I could just stay fucking home and do that. So, like, thank you. A band standing up or coming out and saying, like, this venue sucks. We don't like this. Then don't play it. Please refuse to play these venues so we don't have to suffer for all the big acts coming to the Chicagoland area in the summer and playing Tinley Goddamn Park.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not a Live Nation venue.
That is true.
But the Midwest Live Nation, a lot of them that they play during the summer are the amphitheater venues. I know that, I think it's Missouri has one.
Indiana has one.
We have one. Well, Chicago has one. I'm thinking of everyone around us.
Milwaukee
has one, but that's not
American. But it's still an amphitheater style.
It is, but it's not Live Nation. They're building a venue for Live Nation, which I don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, but I mean, these amphitheaters suck.
They do because of this reason. Because we understand some people need a seat, but if you have 95% of the crowd in chairs or in
assigned seating,
the crowd is not going to be active or moving or doing anything.
And the pits are small, and they're always extremely expensive to get into.
Yeah,
like
this
not
pit
fun.
I think is smaller than you think that this pit's the same size.
I thought so. I think it's a lot smaller now.
It is so small.
After being in it, it's tiny.
But
it's so cool down there. I do really enjoy it.
It could be in my opinion, take the wooden benches out where the VIP is, open that all up to be a pit. That would be phenomenal. Like, that'd be so much fun. Well, and let people do things.
Yeah, the pit we were in, we've never done like the Metallica Snake Pit, but this is what I would imagine the Metallica Snake Pit to be like. Is this like small and intimate, right on the stage?
Yeah, and you're between the catwalks.
Yep. So the bands are walking over you. Like, that's how I envision like the Metallica Snake Pit.
That was really cool.
So you have that as like the main, more expensive pit, and then you have where the VIP section is. Have that just be open GA as well. No seating.
No seats. And that's what I'm saying is like that the seats need to be moved away. And then the fucking lawn chairs need to be back by like the Bud Light stage or like the Who's on Top stage or whatever. Like, don't have them be right up next to the crowd.
Yeah, but I mean, we're kind of getting into the venue again. But going back to this comment, I mean, Actually, I don't know what I was trying to say with this. We ramble a little bit too much.
Sorry.
See, this is what happens when we get off track.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is why we stick to 6 minutes and 6 seconds.
Yeah. Anyway, backtracking. It seemed like they were pissed at the venue, and we were too. We didn't like this approach. We didn't like this thing.
Yeah.
But then to find out that the show was cut short and all the like dead time and all the banter wasn't necessarily playful banter. It was, fuck you, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. Fuck you, this is stupid.
Like, I'm mad at the crowd.
And it's like you're pissed at the organizers, the venue, and you're taking your anger out on the crowd, your fans, your potential new fans. Like, we were going there, we were enjoying the music, we were enjoying our time, and you're taking it out on us because you're pissed. And part of me is like, I kind of get that. Like, I've had bad days. I've been pissed off.
Yeah, we've all had bad days.
I've taken my anger out on other people that I wasn't angry with just because I was angry and I needed to vent and I didn't mean to do it. It was wrong for me to do those kind of things. So I kind of get that happens, but it reminded me of Marilyn Manson at Open Air.
Yes.
It was the same
I
thing.
had the same exact thought.
Yeah, it was the same thing where he was pissed about something and then
That
came out
was
and gave a shitty performance.
2016?
I think so.
Yeah. And the only thing that we have to go off of from that is when Five Finger came out. Gosh, I can't think of his name right now. The lead.
Ian?
I
believe so.
Okay. That doesn't sound right. But I can look it up.
Yvonne Moody.
Yes. Or Ivan Moody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, so he came out. So in 26, sorry, I lost my train of thought. In 2016 Open Air, he came out and said, "This is what happens when our lawyers are better than their lawyers," or something like that.
Yes. Our assumption was that Manson thought he should be ahead of Five Finger.
Yeah.
Five Finger claimed their lawyers were better, so they got the higher spot on the bill.
Like they got the better contract or whatever.
I didn't give a shit who was first, who was second. You have the same, almost essentially the same goddamn set time.
Yeah.
Stop being a little bitch and fucking play music, please. Like, you're pissed off. I get it. Don't come out drunk and bullshit. Like,
and that was another one that you were so excited because you've never seen Marilyn Manson.
And he's supposed to have an amazing live show, and it was just lackluster and
it was
boring.
It was so boring. It was horrible. But I'm not like, and I didn't find the Falling in Reverse boring at all.
No, I didn't either.
Honestly, I almost didn't even notice the dead time between the songs. Maybe I did. I don't know. I guess I never put a thought to it during the performance. But now I feel like we're just critiquing everything because you're second guessing everything because
you are.
We know some stuff just from articles and from Twitter and social media and like all that stuff, but like we're not really on Twitter, but I feel like everything's it's quoted as a tweet. So
yeah, I mean everything is on Twitter. And speaking of, following a article from the Pit, this is Monday after the show.
Yes, yeah.
Article came out just today actually on the Pit about this. We had planned to talk about this tonight, and luckily this came out.
Yeah, we already planned on doing this podcast.
Talking solely about the Twitter sort of comments going back and forth.
This is something that I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is something that I have. So talking about everything that we've already talked about, where we were like, we didn't really notice anything. We just thought something happened and they ended their set. But now, like looking at all the Twitter comments and stuff, I'm kind of like, stop being a baby.
So
I don't know how you would say that, but
so I mean, all right. Before getting into this, I mean, I was frustrated that he took the view I had based on the 2 Instagram stories you showed, where he took his anger out on the crowd and the fans because of what was going on behind the scenes with the organization and the promoters of the venue, and feeling like he was mistreated by them. And I fully understand that gripe and that anger, and if that all of that was true, you definitely should be pissed off at that. Like, I think promoters and organizers have way too much power right now, and most of that power is in Live Nation.
Yeah.
And it's fucking frustrating from a fan perspective. It's got to be even worse from a band perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I get that. I get that anger, but don't come out and shit on your fans and your audience, like that then started like piss me off a little bit. That, like I said, I get that you were angry and you took your anger out on the wrong person. That happens. I get that. But fuck, it's bullshit. Like, grow the fuck up. You're an adult. Fucking act like it, right? That's then where my mindset went. And it's like, fuck this. Like,
yeah. That night, I guess you kind of, or maybe it was after we found the or I saw the Instagram stories, but I can't remember exactly which one. But you made the comment of like, well, fuck it, I wouldn't play this venue either. Not that we are in a band, but you're like, this venue sucks. I wouldn't play it either.
Well, you were finding in comments like you shouldn't play venues then that have seating. Like people were commenting back. I was like, you're fucking right. You shouldn't play these venues. And please, as a band, stand up and say, I'm not going to do this. Lead the fucking charge.
Yeah, and I agree with that point of, don't sign the contract then to play that venue. And maybe they didn't know about
possibly
what the venue was because, I mean, even our friend's band, they didn't know what the venue was going to be like, and they had no clue what they were coming into. They played a side stage, but, whatever. But it took me back, and I even told you this right after you made one of those comments where I was like, but you've always said, like, I'm going to bring up Lamb of God, where you say, it doesn't matter what they're playing, where they're playing, who they're playing to, they're playing the same exact fucking show. So in my opinion, if you have a contract that you are supposed to play, you should just fucking play and then tell your promoter or tell your, what are they called? Agent.
Your managers.
Your managers or whatever. I'm never fucking playing there again. Do not sign another contract for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I think that comment of like, well, what do you always say about Lamb of God? Like, it's the same show wherever you go, wherever you see them. They can play a goddamn gazebo in a tiny-ass podunk town, and they're going to kill that fucking performance. And that, I think, is then where I started, like, finally turn back against falling in reverse of being like, you're supposed to be professional here. Like, fucking use that energy, that pissed off energy, and be like, fucking kill it.
Yeah.
And then when you get off stage, be like, I'm never fucking playing this shithole again.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I'm fucking done with this. I'm not playing this fucking place again. And then extend that out. I'm not playing any of these fucking amphitheaters again. The crowds are weak as shit because they can't do anything.
Yeah.
So, like, use that energy for something positive. But then it was take the anger out on the crowd. And, like, that's then when I got,
I think we have two feelings that are, both of us are the same, where we agree with the band for not liking for hating on the venue, or, like these crowds don't bring the energy that bands want or need, because they need to feed off the energy as well. But also, don't blame the fans, or am I saying that right? Don't blame the fans.
Yeah.
Because they were, I mean, people loved this. Yeah. And I saw so many comments on like, why did you fucking leave the stage? Like, I was having a great time. Everybody around me was having a great time. Yeah. Like, it's not our fucking fault that we weren't in the pit, because you can't get.
This is as close as you get. It's as far back. Yeah. No, agreed. And that's a very good point you brought up. We say this all the time, right? Like, the crowd feeds off the energy of the band. Then the band will feed off that energy of the crowd. And the fans will feed off that energy. It's like a giant fucking circle of just constant, I'll feed you, you feed me. I'll feed you, you feed me type thing. And the energy, just like I said, the lull moments between the songs kind of did sap some energy out of the performance. And again, maybe I'm second guessing this and looking back and be like, I guess I could see that they were kind of low energy on the stage too.
Yeah, see, but I didn't notice that during their performance.
See, I didn't either. That's where I'm thinking, am I second guessing this?
But now that we
watched one video on YouTube when we got home, and I could see that, like, there was kind of low energy from that video perspective.
Yeah, from what, because somebody like recorded on their cell phone the one song from.
Yeah, and the crowd was cheering. We could hear the crowd around that. So, I mean, but again, the crowd can't get as energetic as they want to because of the way the venue's designed. So then, therefore, it's the crowd will feed off the band will feed off the crowd will feed off the band to the best of their ability based on what they can do within the venue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's this whole cyclical thing. So, I mean, up to this point, I was fully on they're pissed at the venue and everything. But then reading this Pit article, like one of the tweets, I don't know if it's the first tweet or what, I'm assuming this came out before my apology video, and here's why I was pissed.
Yeah,
Instagram
the
stories.
Twitter seemed to start like immediately.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like Ronnie came out and said something along the lines of, we'll post this. Fans are always allowed to criticize bands, their music, and their performance. It's time for bands to criticize crowds. Cat Out Wisconsin was boring as hell, LOL. What are some cities you band dudes hate playing because you know the crowds are lame? And yeah, I kind of get that. I kind of agree with that. Like, fans do criticize.
Oh, yeah.
Bands are goddamn dancing monkeys in our eyes, right?
Yeah.
You will do what I say, when I say, how I say it. And if you don't, you're a fucking piece of shit.
I mean, we've said that during this podcast. We've said, fucking perform.
Right.
Like, just perform.
During this episode here.
Yeah. We've said that right now. Like, we're like, just perform for your contract.
Yeah.
And then fucking don't sign it again.
So fans are assholes. I get that.
Yes.
We are fucking assholes.
Yeah. This whole podcast is about reviewing or like talking about live music.
Yeah.
And if some early episodes, we weren't really open to new music, and we were kind of like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Now we're a little bit more open-minded. But
I mean, so I get that. I do. I think it should be okay for bands to criticize fans and say, like, you know what, that show last night was fucking lame. It was a weak crowd. I think they're allowed to say that. I don't think that was ever a doubt in my mind that they weren't allowed to say that.
Yeah, because we've even talked about this. Like, oh, I wonder what a crowd in such and such city would be like. Or like, I don't know. Like, I guess I think of more like a metal show in like a religious city or something, or more religious.
Like a rural, I guess like Utah.
Yeah, like I always think of Utah. Like, what's Utah like?
What are Mormon metalheads like?
Yeah, I want to know what Mormon metalhead is. But you know, like just kind of that, or like a smaller city. Like, what's that like?
But I mean, even Hogfest last year with In Flames, they were saying like, we're from Sweden, we play Europe all the time, and we were told the U.S. is loud. What the fuck is going on here? You guys are quiet as shit. Let's go. Get up. So I mean, it happens. Bands will do this, and we've been to performances where we've seen the same band in multiple cities.
Yep.
And the crowds in those cities are different.
Yep.
And the bands have to adapt to that. And we've seen it where it's like, we just saw you last night and you guys fucking were on fire.
Yeah.
And we're here and you're doing your best, but this fucking crowd is not feeling it. I'm sorry, man. So like, I think you should be allowed to criticize the fans. However, you kind of have to tread lightly, like, because they're your consumer. They are kind of sort of your boss in terms of, if you shit on them too much, they'll walk away. You are not the only fucking musicians out here. You're not the only motherfuckers putting on a live show.
Yeah. We were even driving home, and a Falling in Reverse song came on, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to this right now. Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a playlist for all of the live concerts we see, and if we like the band and the set, we'll add the entire set list to the playlist in the order we see them. Like, we like that to look back, and we'll play it on shuffle. It's kind of fun. I didn't even put them on this one.
Oh, you didn't? I was going to ask like, if you did or not.
Nah, I'm not feeling this. Even after Line Fest, I was so fucking pissed at that festival that I was off Slipknot for 2, 3, 4 months. Like, I was fucking done with Slipknot at that point because I was so pissed off at that fucking festival.
Yeah.
But I mean, I came back around. They're still one of my favorite bands of all time. Falling in Reverse was a new band to me. This is my first exposure to them, and it's I'll check you out if you're at a festival or if you're opening for someone. But if you come to town, I don't think I'm gonna right now at this point in time. Yeah. I'm not gonna go see you. I'm sorry.
Like if it's a headlining show.
I don't want to have that gamble of you're fucking Axl Rose now. Like, I don't even want to see Guns N' Roses sometimes because of that. Like, when they announce tours, I'm like, I think Axl's grown up some. Like, the first time they came through Iowa back in the mid 2000s, I think that's when I was really going to concerts a lot, and I was like, I'm not going to go see this. I don't want Axl to be Axl.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see acts like Justin Bieber, Kanye West, where they come to the venue 3 hours late, and then they play, or they give a shit performance. It's like, I'm not gonna spend my time and my money for this garbage. There's so much more out there that's better.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna risk it. Who knows? Maybe.
I mean, we would never buy tickets to either one of those.
No, but what I'm saying is like
I get what you're saying.
They have that reputation.
Yeah.
So like, if you're trying to build that reputation, like that diva, that bad boy sort of like,
I can do what I want, or like, I'm at this level, so you need to respect me a certain amount.
Then it's like, okay, I have better things to do with my time and energy, so I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want to do, cool, go do it. It's not for me. Who knows? Sometime down the road, we may come around and like, this band, they've won me back over.
Yeah.
The music was good. I would have liked to see.
Yeah.
I would have been. I'd love to be closer to the performance. Love to be into a crowd, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see what. I agree. Sorry, my brain kind of was like thinking. I agree. Like, if we go to another festival, well, not if, when we go to another festival, and if they're performing, I want to check them out again.
Yeah, for
sure. I
sure.
want to see it again. But I'm in the same boat as you. I don't think I would give my money
at this time
to see them as a headliner, depending on who's with them.
I thought the same thing, but then I'm like, I don't know. Well, I mean, it all depends. It all depends, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's so hard right now to like say what we would do, but
and right now I'm so mixed in my feelings, because it's like, I agree the venue is horrible. You should be pissed at that. If the organizer's mistreating you, fucking be pissed at that. You took your anger out on the crowd. That's bullshit. I've done it. Sometimes I somewhat get that, but at the same time, don't fucking do that. Fucking put on a performance. Like, again, you're the dancing monkey. I don't want it to be that way, but like the whole Lamb of God comment of like, wherever they play, it's the same goddamn performance. And if the organizers pissed you off, use that energy to like, for a positive show.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, yeah, you can put that anger. And I mean, a lot of musicians say that, like, you know, when I'm angry, I play music.
But then you see like the tweet of like, the crowd was weak. That's why we did a shit performance. Like, it's so why?
I think what really got me, so back to Friday night, I thought it was weather related. I've said that so many times. But then once I started seeing all the social media stuff, that's when I just got turned off like completely.
Yeah, because
it's kind of high school too.
It is
to go to turn to social media and be like,
the Twitter aspect of it is like,
yeah,
I'm pissed at the fans. Like, that's how I took it. It's like the fans were weak. They were shit. It was a shit performance, shit crowd, shit everything. And it's like, and then the next day it's like, I'm going to apologize to my fans. It's really the organizers that I'm pissed at. And it's like, I don't know the truth here of like why.
We don't know. Yeah.
Well, like, it seems like it's backtracking a little, but I don't know. It wasn't good.
No.
Hindsight, looking back, I enjoyed the music, but the performance wasn't there for me. And knowing now sort of the background behind it, it's kind of soured a little bit more. And like I said, who knows? Maybe sometime down the road we'll come back around. We've done it before in the past. We've been pissed at. I'm very finicky where I get pissed at something and I'll stay pissed at it for 5 years, and the next thing you know, like, I can't remember why I'm pissed at you, so I'll give it another chance now.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, we might down the road be like, "Oh, Falling Reverse is coming. Let's go see them."
Yeah,
I kind of forget. But
anyway, that was our experience. This is way the fuck over. Jesus fuck.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore.
Go see live music.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to get to. Live music is so fucking good.
Yeah.
This is like, I think the second or third time we've experienced something like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
No.
When it does fucking suck, and it sours your mood drastically.
What really sucks is when it's the first time you've seen a band, and it's your first impression.
I think it sucks worse if you're a fan.
If you're a fan?
I'm fine.
That's like, true.
I'm not
That's
a fan.
True.
I didn't get gypped.
I didn't pay for those pit tickets.
I was going to try to find something new, something that I wanted to end up loving. Instead, it became, I I wasn't that invested to begin with. I wanted to be, but I'm fine.
Yeah, that's true.
There's more out there.
Thanks for saying that, because now my mind even changed even more. Because I was like, oh, that was our first impression, and now. But you're right. Like, we can end this podcast and then just be like,
Yeah, I'm good. I don't have to check them out again. But if you're a fan, if this is like your Metallica, this is your Disturbed, your Slipknot, your X,
Wage War.
Oh my God, name a fucking band.
If this was Wage War and we paid for pit tickets and then they left halfway through.
Everybody's band is somebody's favorite band for some reason. You can hate that music all you want. Justin Bieber, Kanye West. We mentioned those two earlier. We fucking hate them. We think their music. We don't hate them. We think we hate their music.
Yeah.
We think their music is fucking trash.
We don't know them, but they're
But there are so many people out there who love it, who have gotten so much joy and happiness from that music.
Look at the freaking Taylor Swift concert that was here a couple weeks ago.
You can't take that away from somebody. Like, if that's the music you love, if that's what brings you happiness and joy, do it. Fucking go out and do it. Support them. Support live music. Support music. Like, music is fucking awesome. So do that. And so, like, if that's your band and then this is your performance, you've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to see this, and this is what you got, that's then where I would be devastated.
That's true. Yeah.
But as us going in, fuck it, whatever, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't need to come back to this until, like I said, 3 years from now. We'll stumble on it as like, Following Reverse. Oh shit, that's right. Oh, all right, yeah, let's go check that out. Something like that. So anyway, go check out live music. Find music. Find what you love. Find what you enjoy listening to, and fucking go after it. It's fucking music's awesome. Yep. That's it.
Bye.